Today is May 24th, 2016. Today I'm going to do a quick review of the backyard garden. We'll start up here on the porch and work our way down. You'd never know that this morning it was raining, I don't know, almost cats and dogs, but it was raining pretty good. And now it's so bright and shiny out. Here, let's see if we can do this transition. It seems like I'm able to start tomatoes pretty well. I don't know what I'm going to do with these tomatoes, but I've got this bunch, I don't know, seems to be about 15 or so. I have another container of tomatoes. These are all beefsteak. And I have a third one here and a few scragglers. So if anybody needs some tomatoes, I really have a lot. Now, this is butter crunch lettuce, which, notice this, the depth of this makes all the difference. I do have holes in the bottom of this, and then I have a container to catch the excess water and also to be a soaker bed. But this lettuce has done great. Now, I tried to grow some lettuce in a lid of a cooler I got from my neighbor, and it was a pretty good lid. I mean, I guess that's a couple inches deep, but look, that's been pretty much a disaster. I don't know, 2.5 inches, 3 inches deep, but that, so if you're gonna try and do something like that, I think it's gonna have to be a little bit deeper. And I didn't put holes in the bottom of that, but I look at that as a failed lettuce growing garden. Here, let's head down these steps. I'm not, most people are good at cutting videos and things, but I'm not. So we'll go through the garden real quick. This is a backyard garden review. As you can see, I'm letting this sunflower grow up, and there's a couple of other ones I may or may not let them grow. And there's actually supposed to be a bed here. You see that piece of wood? Sooner or later I'll put it in here and do something there. My potatoes, they're growing right along. I'm very happy, and I've got a nice broccoli here. I think I may have cut some of it. You can see something's been eaten on it. But yeah, I cut one broccoli off. There's another one there, you see. Anyway, now I planted corn in there, but it looks like that corn is not going to come up. The too close together, the potatoes blocked out the sun. Now, here's a nice wheelbarrow herb garden with some lettuce in there. I put one piece of mint. I'm hoping, tell you the truth, I'm hoping this piece of mint takes over. It's chocolate mint, very nice mint. But we'll see. But this was a broken wheelbarrow, plastic wheelbarrow, and I made it into an herb garden. I am very happy. You can see how the tomatoes are doing along that fence line. Now, there's not, as you guys, I've shown you before, we've got some trees here, but there is a good amount of sunlight out here, and this garden doesn't do too bad. Those are supposedly radishes, but even though they're flowering, if you pull out the radish, here, it's nothing to brag about. Oh, that's not too bad. So this radish I will munch on, but normally I don't even get that much. So we'll see. Maybe these radishes will produce a little bit. I'm still eating the leaves of the broccoli here, and also some of the broccoli. And you can see that broccoli's flowering. And that's very nice. Here, let me set that down. The watermelon hasn't quite taken off yet. This whole frame, this A-frame, is for watermelon. And when it gets a little bit warmer, this watermelon, Lord willing, will just shoot up, and I'll take it up the sides. I got watermelon on both sides, and then I planted, it looks like, I don't know if that's spinach. but it's a lettuce or spinach and some, I'm not sure what that is. I never know. Some brassica of some sort. It's probably broccoli. Normally that's what I seem to be able to grow, is broccoli. And a little bit of cabbage. So this is a bed I've got partially planted out. I'm going to actually plant, which may be a little crazy, I'm going to plant more watermelon in here. And then on the edges, I'm going to edge it in okra. This is going to be okra, some okra in here. And this bed over here has quite a bit of squash. I had extra squash, so I planted it here. And look, I got a bunch of tomatoes. It'll be nice to have some tomatoes to eat here soon. The peas are flowering. In the front yard, I've got a lot of peas. In the backyard, just starting to flower. And the onions aren't doing too bad, but as you can see, there's quite a bit of shade. But these tomatoes are really taking off. And here again, these potatoes are doing real wow. They really, man, they're, I don't know, 2.5 feet tall now, these potatoes. There's corn in here, but I don't know if you can see that corn. I don't know if it's going to make it. The idea was to have corn. The corn was supposed to grow up tall, not the potatoes. But the potatoes, I hope I've got potatoes. I hope it's just not all, plant. So I had so many, guys, I just started all kinds of tomatoes. So I had so many tomatoes, I finally just planted the plants. And, oh, you can see, this is the first year I've tried to, I think it's asparagus. Yeah, I think that's the right name. I planted some asparagus here. This is supposed to be my asparagus bed. And I did plant a little bit of onions on that end. In the middle, there's not anything planted in there. I'll plant something, probably. Now, this area here. Last year, I was wanting to build a shed in here. I got an old foundation. And in the end, I ended up building my little greenhouse in the front yard, which has been so fantastic. Now, I don't know if you can see this very well, but I had all these tomato plants, and I still have another, 50 or so tomato plants, but I had some older ones, and I finally just planted them out along, I just threw them in here. I've never grown anything here before, and I don't know, these tomatoes can be for the squirrels, I'm going to have so many tomatoes, it's going to be crazy. Now, I was digging this area out, and I thought I was going to do a fancy concrete foundation, and then I had all these little seedlings trying to come up, and so I put down this plastic to keep things from growing somewhat. But you know what I think I'm going to do is make this area, instead of a foundation right now, I think I'm going to grow corn here. I'm going to bring back some of that mulch, clean this up, throw it in here, and plant corn, because I don't think I have enough corn. And I'll focus on corn and maybe watermelon in here again. I keep trying to grow watermelon this year. So I think that's what this is going to be. This is going to be a little bed of corn. We'll see. Anyway, I'm trying to figure out what all I'm doing. I keep expanding my garden with different thoughts. So we'll see. Anyway, I want to plant some more corn. So that's the idea. Okay, well, that's an update for the backyard. I've got a few. You can see some of the marigolds. I do have, if you've been noticing the collar, I've got marigolds growing and a few nasturtium. I just love the nasturtium, those little round leaves. So we'll see. In July, in fact, you can already see that those tomatoes are really something else. I've really got it planted in there and caged up. There's quite a few tomato plants there, and they're already over 4 feet tall. So that's going to be, I think I'm going to get a lot of tomatoes out of there. I know some people are we'll break some of the branches and stuff and clean that up, but I don't think I'll do that. I'll just let it see what happens. Okay, that's pretty much it for the backyard. That's one of my projects. I'm still thinking of actually, I don't know, I may put in a larger Harbor Freight greenhouse right there also in that area. But I'm thinking in that area over there, like I said, I'm thinking I've already thrown in some tomatoes. And you can see how dreadful they look. I mean, they look pretty haggard. And you know, if I get tomatoes out of this, that's great. If I don't, that's okay too. I'm not one that can really throw away plants, it seems. I've got to seem to plant them or give them away. It's hard for me to, you know, if I see a tomato plant with little tomatoes, I got to plant it and see what will happen. Okay, those are the thoughts on expansion of this area. I think that's going to become, at least for the next 3 or 4 months, corn patch. So we'll see. And oh, this is becoming long. But the other thing I wanted to show you, and now that I knew there was something. Here, let's go on back here. I may be walking too fast. But last year, I saw a video of some guys planting potatoes under trees, and I thought, oh, I'll see if it works. Well, it didn't for me. I didn't get any potatoes. I just got real long vines. I mean, very skinny vines. Last year I tried to grow potatoes in here, and I'm not trying to grow anything in here right now. In fact, if you guys have an idea of what grows in the shade, then maybe I'll try and grow it in here. But this area is very damp. It gets a lot of moisture, so it needs to, maybe, I don't know if leeks, I think leeks need a lot of sun. But this little patch here, right now you can see it's in the shade, but it actually does get some sun. My mom had a secret watermelon patch that, well, actually it would be my great-grandmother on the Foster side used to have a secret watermelon patch out that she never could find. So I'm thinking this is going to be my secret watermelon patch. I put a whole bunch of leaves in here last year, and I worked this area. Actually, I had corn growing in this. It actually did work. I did get some nice corn here, but the wind actually would blow it down, which, how can you, I mean, I was surprised to see it knocked over, but it was getting knocked over. But this year, and I've already got some watermelon plants started, I think I'm going to grow watermelon in here. I'll come down here and turn it over, maybe till it up and plant watermelon in here. I know watermelon likes leaves. So that's what I wanted to show you. You can see that I'm edging some of these areas where I'm going to try and plant things in logs. I've got a lot of logs. So I kind of enjoy that. Okay, well that's kind of the backyard ideas. Oh, look at that. My cherries, this is a cherry tree here. Normally I don't get any cherries or they go pretty bad, but it looks like at least I'm getting one cherry. Let's see if it tastes any good. Not bad. That cherry's actually not too bad. But my cherry trees have I don't know. I normally don't get the cherries off of them. So I'm going to actually trim this down shorter. I'm going to probably cut this here in a couple months. I'm going to cut these cherries way back and see what happens, because I can't get up there to pick those cherries, and there are a couple of cherries up there. Okay, well that's from the backyard. I think that's plenty. This is becoming quite a long video, but I wanted you to see this patch here, because here in the next couple of weeks this is going to be a watermelon patch, I think. Anyway, that's the thought. Love you guys. You have a good one. Bye-bye.